All right, so the guy that I got a brother out on the West Coast. His name's Neil. He goes by VentureFire on VentureRider.org. VentureFire on VentureRider.org, and he also writes for Ultimate Motorcycle magazine. Neil Wyan. I hope it's okay, Neil, that I put that on here because people are going to want to look you up on Ultimate Motorcycle magazine. He made this for me years ago when my father died, passed away. Neil was, I think he was in Italy at the time, in Rome, in all actuality. He handmade this back-off whip for me. It's still hanging on my bike, Neil. Look at. Boy, it just flags, man, when we're going down the road touring. So Neil is a fellow touring, major touring brother. Does a lot of cross-country touring and stuff. Well, in his writings on Ultimate, he does reviews, motorcycles, motorcycle paraphernalia, and that kind of stuff. And he just recently wrote one, and I haven't had a chance to read it yet because I've been busy working on my yard, putting in drains and downspout drains and all kinds of stuff, getting ready for the next 500-year flood. But Neil just wrote one about that I saw on VentureRider.org about toolkits. It was something about a toolkit. He was doing a review on a metric toolkit, and he started off the thing on VentureRider.org by summoning me, and like he wants to know what I carry for tools. So I figured, hey, here's another good chance for a Venture Rider, for a response to my brother VentureFire. You'll find another one if you go back in my YouTube videos. You'll find another one in there that I did for him on slow riding. If you just write slow riding, search YouTube slow riding or slow ride tweaks maybe under Puck. That's me on YouTube. You'll find it anyway. That was a response to a question that VentureFire had, that my brother Neil had. So anyway, he asked what I carry. Now it's been a long time since we've been off the touring for a couple of years now because of cancer, and I'm still not back. Right now we're touring in our little micro mini motorhome Trooper. That's Trooper, all right. And basically Tweaks here has been confined to Michigan, little 1 hour, 2 hour jaunts, and that's about it. But all the stickers that are on her, she's earned. So she's had a lot of tweaking. Her sister, Tweaks, donated her carburetors and all that kind of stuff for Tweaks Sis. This is Tweaks' sister, so her name is Tweaks Sis. Okay, Tweaks Sis. So anyway, okay, Neil, in response to your question, all right, to start off with, up here on my travel bag up top, I always have my handy dandy air pressure gauge. There's my radio system. Okay, if I ever want to listen to a radio full of Willie Nelson. Just can't wait to get on the road again. And extra batteries, that kind of stuff, little stuff. Nail clippers, you know what that is, don't you? You know what that is, right? Everybody knows what that is? That's a side stand plate. We're looking at motorcycle manufacturers make side plan states. The Bible, I always carry the Bible with me. Earplugs, that kind of stuff. Anything else tool related, you'll probably find. I mean, there's stuff in here that's been in here for years. Matches, on and on and on. Okay, all right. So ink pen, marker. So, but that's not the end of my toolbox. That's not the end of my toolkit. Okay, on my bikes, there's my. This is one of my extra fuel containers. That's a quart. That's a 1 quart empty quart of oil. It's full of gas. All right, and I use a couple of those. Strap them on the bike back here for my extra fuel, because Tippy don't like to push. Okay. So let's see what we got here. It's been a while since I've been in here, so I'm really not sure. We might run into a rattlesnake or something. Hey, Video Arizona, might be a baby rattlesnake in here. You won't have to look anymore. So let's just take a look. I'm not even sure if it's complete or whatever. So what you see is what you get. Okay. Been a while. So air pump, Harbor Freight air pump, $5 air pump. I've actually given a couple of those away while I was out on the road traveling. I like to go with the cheapies, the little $5, $6 ones you get from whatchamacallit. This one here, this is here. It's seen better days. You can see the gauge and stuff is all messed up on it. But you know what? It still works perfect, and it's been used. All right, I carry those. Extra bungee cord, of course. Let me see here. Here's my tool bag. There's about I would say there's probably 40 pounds. 40 pounds of tools in there. We'll start with that. We'll go with that in a minute. Okay. Rag to wipe the hands off with. Hi, babe. Let me see here. Shop towel. Extra fuel line. All right. Now, I carry a piece of fuel line with me, like this little section right here. All right. And the reason that I do that is for numerous reasons. I mean, fuel line comes in handy. Clear fuel line comes in handy, you know, for a lot of things. But I have actually got out of a bad situation on tweaks. On one of my, this is my sixth tweaks. This is my sixth one of these. I've got over 1 million miles on over the course of 6 of these. Okay, of these bikes, and one of them, and I think it was tweaks, dropped a fuel pump and what I do is I take this. You take this fuel line, splice into the right along this backbone here is the vent line for the fuel tank. Just splice into that fuel line. Splice into that vent line with an extra piece of fuel line like this, and you can pressurize the gas tank by blowing in this and holding pressure on it, and you do that. And it'll put pressure in the tank and force fuel into your carburetors. And you know, if you're a few hundred miles back in the middle of nowhere and need to get that system going, a little piece of fuel line like that right there save your life. Mighty handy. Okay. Everything in here has a necessity. All right. You see this little piece of board? That little piece of board is cut perfect for my side stand or for my center stand. I can work my bike up on that piece of board. If I have a flat tire on the side of the highway, I can get it up on this board and pull the back tire off without having to do a whole lot of anything, just by popping that bag off, popping that pipe off, taking the brake caliper off, pulling the axle, and then I can pull the tire out. Because I've got enough room with that board underneath that center stand. So that little section of board right there, that's part of my toolkit, believe it or not. Okay, more bungee cords. Like I said, I haven't been in here in a long time, so you're really getting a special treat. Never, ever go anywhere on a motorcycle without a whole bunch of these. You know what that is? That's a zip tie, tie wrap, zip tie, plastic. Get them at Harbor Freight cheap. Okay. Get the black ones. I like the 11-inch, just all around good. You can see there's all kinds of them in the bottom of this thing. All right. They're really handy for all kinds of stuff. Like, for instance, this saddlebag had to be repaired on the road because I had to roll the bike over. See all those flippies down there? Had to be repaired because I had to roll the bike over to get it off a mountainside. And I had to crush that side case. Kind of sad, but I got zip ties all over this thing. See, there's one down there. There's one right there. There's one repaired this. There's one repaired that. There's one repaired that. They're all over the bike. They're really handy. Okay, so zip ties, old roll of black tape, waterless hand cleaner, hose clamps, just in case. Okay, screwdriver ends. Now you notice in the bottom here, there's a whole bunch of extra screws. They're all different sizes of extra screws, nuts, bolts, whatever, laying in the bottom of there. Okay, all necessary. What's in this bag? You know, you might find just about anything. Oh, you know what them are? I've looked for those. Those are empty shell casings. Go back in my video file, on YouTube in my video file, and you'll find out all about these. This was from out in Utah or Wyoming, gun range. Treasures of the Trail or something like that. Search that. They're in there. I found a camp that got in a big rainstorm up in the mountains and wound up having to camp in the shelter at a whatchamacallit, at a gun range. Okay, so there's that part of it. All right. Let's open this bag up once. Pardon me while I unzip this thing. Oh, hey, look at this. For years, I changed my own tires. I do all my own tire work, okay? So for years and years and years, I carried C-clamps. A really close, another brother of mine, another friend of mine, up in Canada and in Arizona, Rev, sent me this as a gift, Christmas gift, and I will never forget it. It's still here in my possession. I've actually used this now several times, and hey, Rev, this thing works phenomenal. What this is, people, is a bead buster. See, it's bead buster XB450, and it works just fine. Be warned, though, if you're going to use it on your back wheel, if you have a situation in the parking lot where you're out in the desert or wherever where you need to pop your back tire off, to use a speed buster on your back wheel, you have to take the brake rotor. You have to remove the brake rotor to use it properly. I was actually able to use this without doing it, but it's kind of iffy. You really have to watch carefully what you're doing. So, but for years I carried C-clamps, great big old honking C-clamps, and you'll see in a minute if they're still in here. They're not in my toolbox. And big channel locks. I always carry big channel locks with me. C-clamps and big pair of channel locks to break beads. A real headache. But this little bead buster, wow, phenomenal. So that's in there. Okay. Here's a specialty tool. All right. Have you guys ever seen one of these? This has got a pivot neck here, and then the jaws pivot open. All right. Real handy. Now I just carry, as far as I know, I've got 2 or 3 of these, but I only carry the 12-10 because those are the most popular ones on my bike. So I keep that in there. Here's a little pair of what do they call these? The doctors call these things. All right. You know, you get in a situation where you got gas coming or fuel coming on or whatever, and you just want to shut a hose off. Or you need an extra pair of fingers deep down inside of something to hold on to something, to hold something in place. There's a name for these, and now I can't remember what they're called, but that's what they are. That's what they are. So they got a little slip joint right there. Yeah. They lock in place and lock it closed. All right, I'll think of the name of those in a minute, but those are really handy. I think I may have got these from my dentist, because these are actually stainless. I think I might have got these from my dentist or from my doctor daughter. Had an extra set. All right. In here I have. Here we go. I know nobody likes to plug tires, but I carry them, and I have plug tires. Ask Video Arizona if I've ever plugged a tire before. There we go. Tire plugging kit. All right. And then I got that's an ohm meter. Actually, that's a pretty good one. Probably shouldn't even be in there. Normally, I'm kind of surprised. Normally, under normal circumstances, this is what I usually carry. And this is what you should carry. See these right here? The Harbor Freight $6 multimeter, digital meter. See a couple of them in there. Because those you can give away. Somebody's in a bad situation and needs I like to carry those. I'm surprised that I left that in here. That's kind of surprising. Anyway, there's a good old meter right there. Extra set of brake pads. I use my front brakes. My front brake almost exclusively. Same, just like riding my R1. I'm a front brake kind of guy. My right foot very, very, very seldom hits the back brake. Very seldom. And I'm a front brake because that's where all your stopping power is. Back brake is. Yeah. And so I'll go through 6 sets of those right there, front brake pads. I'll go through 6 sets of those to one back tire. Here we go. Wow. This has been in there for a while. This is E6000. This is an adhesive, industrial strength adhesive. All right. I have found, I've actually got, this is supposed to be in here, but I think it's still in this cabinet. I'll show you something. I'll show you. Now there's one that hasn't been repaired yet. That's in line to be repaired. That's another one that somebody gave to me. That's a hole that I haven't repaired yet. I don't know where it might be on the bike. Anyway, I've got 3 of them in this bike that have been repaired by diaphragms, carb diaphragms, that have been repaired with E6000. I used to use Yamaha 5. Works good. It's a real good thing. But E6000, far better. This stuff is unbelievable. As a matter of fact, I've got a video back there, and it's probably titled something Bongo Bob. If you search Bongo Bob and then Puck, you'll find this. Where you see this patch in the bottom of this saddlebag. That's years and years and years old. Well, when I first, 10 years ago, or whenever it was when I broke this thing, and I stitched it up, I used just silicone adhesive to try to seal it, and it didn't work. This stuff had just... now this E6000, wow! This stuff is phenomenal. I'll see if I can find a little piece of that hanging down here. In my video, I show this. This stuff just remains like majorly rubber flexible for like ever. All right. I use a lot of E6000. That has so many uses. I can't even begin to. Everything from making gaskets to patching stuff up to whatever. Probably even stitching up a wound if you need to. No, I wouldn't do that. I'd probably burn like crazy. But E6000, my full endorsement, and I'm not like my brother who writes professionally for a magazine. I'm far from any form of expert, knowledgeable person that way, in any way, shape, or manner. But I do know a good product, and I'm not afraid to say what's a good product when it's a good product. So there you have it, E6000. I always carry that with me. What's in this one? Extra spark plugs. A couple extra plugs in case one falls. You want to move that axle nut? You want to move that axle nut? 12-inch crescent right there. See that 12-inch crescent? I go nowhere without that 12-inch crescent. And then this right here, my favorite tool of all time. I spoke about it earlier. I go nowhere without that 16-inch pair of channel locks. Real, genuine channel locks. That is the most, and I've been carrying these my whole life, and those are real, genuine channel locks. They're not cheap. It's a 460, number 460 channel lock, made in USA, all that good kind of stuff. I can't even begin to. I won't even try. It's so useful. It's just you gotta have it. There's some more tie wraps. Tire spoons. Because I do all my own tire work, at home or on the road. I mean, I've been out in the desert and had the tire off the rim, oh, here we go. A lighter. This is a lighter. Do you see that, what that is? But it's also a flashlight. Yeah. Okay. Combination unit. Ratcheting. Now, right there. That's a real handy little tool. That's a ratcheting nut driver, quarter drive, okay, and here laying right there is a set of bits for it, okay, full set of metric bits. Now check this one out. Here's something really unique about this one. Look, it's got a pivot, okay, you can lock and unlock that pivot, see this? So you can use it this way, click, use it for a ratchet, use it like a screwdriver. Very handy. There's another bit for it, laying right down in there. And of course, needle nose, side cutters. Here's a real handy one that I also go nowhere without, okay? And this is a 90-degree long reach pair of needle nose pliers. Man, I want to tell you, you start working on these bikes, this stuff gets so tight in the spots. A good pair of strippers, wire strippers, latex gloves, long. If you're going to carry screwdrivers, which I do, okay, long reach. You see that long reach right there? What is that? Well, that's a 12-inch crescent. There's a screwdriver laid on top of it, so it's at least 12 inches long anyway. See that? Nice little Phillips screwdriver. All right, extension for my socket set. 3/8 drive ratchet. Let me see. Oh, here's my. See, that's a good long wheel. These are handy. Now I want to tell you a little something about tire spoons. Okay. Now I fashion my own. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I grind them and smooth them and bend them and get them just exactly where I want them. Okay. And then the same thing with the S curve in them. See that right there? That's all smooth and cleaned and everything else. So it's road ready. All right. Now my suggestion, if you're gonna follow us old school guys' paths and do your own tire swaps and be ready. Not if, but when you have a flat tire, when you have to have trouble, tire problems on the road. I know most people depend on AAA or whatever, credit card, call a tow truck, sit out in the desert, in 117 degrees and sit there for 10, 12 hours waiting for a tow truck to come and get you. You'll be wishing you knew how to change a tire or how to fix one if you had the tools to do it. I mean that. Anyway, just an insight. But you see this one right here? This is the longer one. See the length difference in them? Now those little 8 or 12-inch or 8-inch, they're fine. Just they take a lot of I think this is an 18-incher if I remember right. If I had it to do over again, I would suggest getting all those in a hurry because I'm running out of video time. Water. This is a water conditioner. You can stick this in a mud puddle and take a drink through it, and it'll give you clean water. Handy to have in the desert. This is a full set of quarter drive sockets and Allen wrenches in there. Okay. Then I have the stock tool kit. Let me see. Wire splicers and stuff. Screwdriver bits for the ratcheting screwdriver. Okay. Extra pair of glasses. Wire. Bring wire. I got wire that I use 14 gauge in case I have to make a set of jumper cables or whatever. And then this is just regular whatchamacallit. This is 12 gauge. This is regular wiring for a bike, so you could do some rewiring if you needed to. Okay. In here I got just a standard tool kit with all the standard stuff, and then some. Let's see here. Even with a stock original owner's manual. Can you believe that? See this right here? Let's give you a look in here. Look at there's open-end wrenches, screwdrivers, pliers, spark plug tools. For these ventures, make sure that you have a stock original spark plug remover because this fits just perfect down inside of the head, and then make sure that you have a ratcheting box and wrench that go over the top of this to break it loose, to break the whatchamacallit loose. Boy, that got long, didn't it? This is like screwdrivers in here, open-end wrenches, all the original stuff out of the original toolkit. My gosh. Okay, I'm going to end it there. There's more in there that I could go on and on and on about, but this got real long. So anyway, that's what I got, Neil. Hope you enjoyed that little tour. Hey, hope you're enjoying your summer. Talk to you soon.